The first time I met you, when I hear what you do, I'm like, so you buy gym equipment from Amazon and putting in people's garage, and then you make a living out of it. I'm like,
Definitely
how is that a business, right? Hi, this is Raymond Tsai. Today I'm very excited to invite Kelly to the show. This show is gonna be about how Kelly can transform your fitness dreams into reality. The first time I met you, when I hear what you do, I'm like, so you buy gym equipment from Amazon and putting in people's garage, and then you make a living out of it. I'm like, how is that a business, right? How do you introduce yourself? Yeah, I don't even know.
A custom gym design and build firm. So we design it and build it for our clients and install all the equipment, source the equipment. So it's literally a white glove treatment from start to finish.
When I'm here today, I saw what you made for the owner here.
Sure.
I feel like you really putting that bespoke style into the house.
And we love that word because it really brings the client's personality into the space.
What type of clients usually hire you?
It's a good question. Usually entrepreneurs who want just an intimate personal space for their own fitness needs. So they don't want to have to drive to a gym. They don't want to have to leave the house.
Tell me, how did you get into the business?
So I used to be a fitness professional. I worked for UC Irvine for 12 years as a fitness director. I left my position there because I just wanted to create something, and I found myself falling in love with construction and rebuilding spaces, re-envisioning spaces, and I thought, what better way to re-envision a space for a client than to marry it with my previous industry, which was the fitness industry. So I took fitness and construction and then merged it with design.
I haven't met anyone else that does what you do.
I haven't either.
So how did you start and how did you find your first client?
So it actually sort of happened by accident, to be quite honest. When I was at UCI, we would design spaces for all around campus. When I left, it turns out that a lot of my fitness colleagues were asking me to create garage gyms, home gyms for them. And so because of that experience, I started thinking, okay, this is an untapped market and I should definitely start to niche into this because of my experience.
And who's your first client? I guess that's my question.
Yeah, so my very first client was, she was actually an HR manager at UCI and she was involved in fitness, but she wasn't maybe a fitness expert or a trainer or anything like that. She just really enjoyed fitness. And so designing the space so that it flows, so that there's a functional movement to the layout, as well as making sure the colors are on brand with the client, what makes them inspired to exercise. There's so much that goes into the physiology of exercise, but then also the psychological components of it as well. Okay, she's asking for a home gym, but what she's really asking for is a space where she feels safe, empowered.
Well, I think I'm hearing that you design the flow of the gym.
Exactly. A lot of times what people will do is they'll just place a door any place in the room, but they don't realize, oh, the door opens into a squat rack. They don't really realize that there's a lot that goes into it to make sure that the space functions smoothly. So after my first client, I just started getting lots more clients that had become, basically a referral from my fitness colleague. Busy entrepreneurs that are finding out, oh my gosh, there's someone that does this thing that I need. I was going to build a home gym, but maybe didn't have the skills. And so they're like, I would much rather have you do it because you have the expertise.
What's funny is my partner. I think the only workout he does is to set the gym up. Because that already took all of his energies, and I don't think he ever worked out in that gym. So typically, how long does it take for you to set up a gym?
It depends. So if it's, bare studs, nothing on the walls, we have to maybe do some construction. It can take up to 3 months, believe it or not.
3 months for a gym?
If you think about a garage and you have open base studs, we have to go through potentially moving electrical, we have to insulate, we have to do drywall, we have to paint, we have to redo the floors. And you have specific lighting in a gym as well, because you can't just throw any old light fixture up. It has to be specific lighting that showcases the body, that illuminates the face.
I love that because nowadays, you don't only work out in the gym, you take selfies.
Exactly.
Right? So you need the right lighting. So I'm wondering how much would it go up to? That'll be an interesting topic that I'm gonna look into.
Sure. Yeah. Well, just in the investment alone, They start at 50K.
Okay.
So that would be the base model, like the
Base model, 50. What do you get for 50K?
50K would be, okay, let's put some drywall on the walls, paint it, make it look nice. Maybe it's not the most high-end equipment. Maybe it's like Rogue, which is a good, solid, sturdy piece of equipment, but it's nothing bespoke or custom or anything like that. When you start wanting to add custom things like custom cabinetry, custom shelving, custom LED lighting and things like that, that's when it really starts to increase the cost.
What's the most expensive job you have ever done?
It was 120K and
120K for a gym.
yeah. So this was for a doctor and he wanted red light therapy, he wanted a sauna, he wanted a cold plunge. The cold plunge alone was $25,000.
Right.
A redo of all the lighting, and it was specialized LED lighting and like a lot of greenery to make it just feel like it wasn't just a gym, it was a wellness escape.
Oh, I love that word.
Yeah.
Wellness escape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In your own home.
In your own home. So why don't we go take a look?
Let's go.
And just see how you bespoke this gym fitting to the style of the house.
Sure.
I think this is a very unique architectural style in the Big Canyon.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
so-
a very European aesthetic.
When you sit down with the owner, what kind of consultation process you walk through with him?
So I just get an idea of what he wants to do in the space. So what types of movements, what types of exercises, what types of martial arts. For example, he does a Filipino martial art called Kali, but it's like moving these sticks through the air and they're, varying heights of sticks. And so we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to hit anything above, just figuring out how the space is going to be used so that I'm not putting something in a spot that's going to interfere with their workout.
Gotcha.
And making sure that it's on brand with the aesthetic that inspires them. And for this particular job, it was finding the aesthetic that would blend with the exterior of the house, the interior of the house, and sort of bring it all together so nothing seems like an afterthought.
When you set up a gym for the owner, you pick everything?
Typically, I pick everything.
Okay.
However, this particular client was very, very specific on things that he already owned. So for example, he already had that bench behind us, the leather bench. He had the dummies already. So it was finding a way to work in the dummies for the martial arts components in with the rest of the design. He had a lot of the boxing gloves, like figuring out a way to showcase them so that it was very beautiful and pleasant to look at. And also the garage used to have fluorescent lights that were just these plastic acrylic, fluorescent ugly lights. So I wanted to make sure that the lighting had a wood casing with the black details because you have the wood doors, you have the black details on the doors. So I wanted to really pull that all in. And same thing with the track above. It's the wood pieces that kind of look a little bit rustic so that it kind of goes with that aged European, medieval almost looking vibe.
How much is this gym?
So, the custom piece behind us, for example, was $16,000 because it was custom. And keep in mind, we didn't have to put drywall up, we didn't have to do the floors, so this gym was $60,000.
And I think for me it's worth it.
Right.
He spent most of his time here, and I can relate to that as I love working out, but not that much.
Yeah.
I love reading. And that's why I'm willing to spend that money on my own custom piece of space.
Of course.
I can already envision myself sitting there reading.
Right, and that's your vibe, that's your aesthetic. And so like for a space like this, eventually, he just had 2 babies, they're twins, they're 3 months old, but eventually I know he's gonna have them in here rolling around, doing jujitsu like your girls are reading books off your shelf.
Right.
It's the same thing. So whatever you value in your life, your children are going to follow suit as well.
True. I call this statement pieces of your house. They can spend a lot of money buying a nice car, but I think this represents a lot more. They tell more about you than what a car can tell people.
100%.
100%.